started his college career at Baylor. Then he transferred to Auburn, where he was a 2-year starter, 2017, 2018. Actually led the SEC in 2017 in completion percentage and completions. 64% was his completion percentage at Auburn. His career, he threw 48 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Patriots liked it. They liked his size, his athleticism, his ability, you've heard this before, to spin it. He throws a pretty football, nice tight spiral.
No one spins it like Steiny.
Nobody. So they selected him in the 4th round, 133rd overall in the 2019 draft. How many games did he start for the Patriots? That would be 0. He was with the team for 2 years. Then he moved on. He played in 5 games, mop-up duty, different various things. Then he moved on to the Raiders with somebody by the name of Josh McDaniels, and he started 2 games of the 5 he played in the 2022 season. Then in 2023, he moved on to Denver, where he's been the last 3 years, started 2 games in 2023 for Denver. In those 4 career starts, he has 1 win and 3 losses. He has a 59.4 career completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 78.3 rating. He is athletic, in case you forgot. And I'm going to say something here that is idiotic, but I don't know. I know Jordan Palmer has made the comparison. There are some physical comparisons to the guy he's facing on Sunday, Drake May, in terms of kind of ability to throw the ball, arm, off platform, can roll out and throw, athleticism, some of those things. But that's the totality of what Jarrett Stidham is. We can hear Schlereth say some people thought in the preseason and in the summer in scrimmages he was better than Bo Nix, but he hasn't. Over 6 years in the National Football League, he's played, he started 4 games, he's 1-3, he's attempted 197 total passes. And now he's getting ready for the AFC Championship game. So just to set the table even further, because I poo-pooed him starting on Monday. I poo-pooed the idea that you are facing a total unknown backup, whatever. And people are like, ever hear of Nick Foles? Patriots fans should know Nick Foles. So Nick Foles, first of all, was a 3rd-round pick, 88th overall. So just entering the league, he was seen as a better player by 50 picks when he came in 2012. Before 2017, which is the season in which he took over in Philly and then went to the Super Bowl, and sorry, Patriots fans, beat you in the Super Bowl.
The refs did.
Before 2017, he had played in 41 games with 36 starts. 36 starts. You know his record?
What's that?
20-16 in those 36 starts. So he had a winning record over those seasons.
But was he 1-3 during his first 4 starts?
And then if you look at his numbers, just his raw numbers over the course of his career, so after that season he went on, and then it kind of petered out. He was gone. The highlight was winning the Super Bowl against the Patriots. He completed 62% of his passes in his career, better than Stidham. Yep. He threw 82 touchdowns to 47 interceptions.
A lot better.
Lot better. And a marginally better 86.2 rating compared to 78.3. Very different sample sizes. So don't tell me about, he is the next Nick Foles. He's a beast all his own. This is one of the most unique stories. In fact, Adam Schefter, when we talked to him, told us exactly how rare and unique this Stidham start in the AFC Championship game is. Adam Schefter.
There's never been a quarterback, who has started fewer NFL games going into the conference championship game than Jarrett Stidham, former Patriot quarterback. He has started 4 games in his NFL career. This will be his 5th. There's the only other quarterback that's ever started his first game in the conference championship game to go to the Super Bowl. The only other quarterback who had that be his first start of the season was Roger Staubach in 1972 when he started against Washington. And that was because Craig Morton got benched. Again, it just shows you the oddity of the situation and the circumstances. These kinds of things really don't and shouldn't happen.
And one last nugget that was actually expressed by Robert Kraft this week on the radio. We had heard Mike Vrabel say they did a lot of work on Jarrett Stidham in the offseason. Robert Kraft said, alluded to Stidham maybe being the best backup quarterback in the NFL, and said people that are very close to him wanted him to be the backup quarterback. So I think he's alluding to the fact that the Patriots wanted Jarrett Stidham over Dobbs to be the backup quarterback this year. In New England, obviously, Josh McDaniels is the coordinator. He wanted him in Vegas. It would make sense. Josh McDaniels would want him to back up his guy Drake May in New England.
So can we guess why is he not the backup quarterback for Drake May then?
More money.
Got to be money, right?
Probably.
Or comfort and familiarity. He and Kennedy moved out there a few years ago. They've had a kid. They're comfortable. They like the lifestyle.
Yeah, I could say comfort or money, because clearly two offensive minds, Sean Payton and Josh McDaniels, like him. They like him, but I want to make
Which is telling, right? I mean, two really good offensive minds in this league.
But what do they want him as? The backup quarterback.
Sure. Because he looks the part, and he he has the physical tools. He just doesn't have the extra it.
Right. He can, and I think the wheels will probably not fall off on Sunday. Like, the operation. I feel like that's what Bill used to call it, the operation. Yep. When you put Jimmy Garoppolo in, the first thing you want to know is, will the operation work?
I was surprised that Schlereth said to us yesterday, he says, the Broncos will not lose this game because of Jarrett Stidham.
We'll see.
And I was like, ooh, that's a pretty confident. I mean, for a guy that's never been in this situation, for him to say it like that, I thought was very interesting.
Absolutely, especially because through the course of that interview, he kind of crapped on the defense for what
he did.
And
he hadn't played good since the end of November.
RJ Harvey, he kind of said he runs like a college back or something. He's not very good. He's not very decisive at times.
He had a good game last week.
So
he's better. I think he's better. Dobbins is the better of the two backs in terms of being a runner. I think RJ Harvey is just a little faster. So like a little dump out in space or a wheel route, you'd probably want Harvey. But if we're going to smash the tackles, that would be Dobbins.
It's interesting that everybody talks about this offensive line. It's such a great offensive line, but the running game is a below-average running game. So they're just clearly an excellent pass protection team is right what their strength is, right?
And how important is that going to be with a backup quarterback? How much are you putting on the quarterback's shoulders? Also, the fact that some people, and in my limited memory of what Stidham was, I do think. Remember, we talked early in the year that Drake May might be better when he rolls out than he is in the pocket. When he showed some of that last year. I think you could argue with some of that with Stidham, that when he's moving and kind of being athletic and comfortable, again, limited sample size, but maybe he's better at that. So how much does the strength of the offensive line really – he's not just going to stand back there and pick you apart with 35 or 40 passes over the course of the game. So now that we've set the table for who Jarrett Stidham is, Ted, you've been around the NFL a long time. As a player, you've seen backups play. I'm guessing you've seen guys that weren't ready, that kind of, had that welcome to the NFL moment. Where do we feel like he is? Is the fact that McDaniels and Payton have so much faith in him, does that remove the possibility that he falls on his face and looks inept?
No, because you never know. I mean, they can't quite anticipate how he's going to react in a big game like this. The stakes are, this has never been done. This is unprecedented since 1972. So you don't know how he's going to react. But it does tell me that the kid, for those two guys to covet his services, even in a backup role, says that they believe in his abilities. And Sean Payton, and I've kind of given you, Sean Payton knows how to call games. He knows how to attack weaknesses. He knows how to protect his quarterback. He knows how to not put him in harm. And so I think he will probably, I don't think he will pee down his leg. I don't think he's going to just throw up all over himself. My guess is he will be the quintessential game manager and try to possess the ball, methodically move down the field, not make mistakes, and lean on the running game.
Throw at the linebackers. Don't try to throw outside the numbers or too deep too often.
Yeah, I mean, quick game? I don't know. I mean, my guess is the Patriots are kind of anticipating the quick game.
Right.
Ball out fast. Horizontal passing game, that kind of stuff.
Marcus Jones.
It's funny because I've heard a couple of different analysts, and I would cite them if I remembered who they were, but there were actually a couple that said one thing that he'll struggle with might be completion percentage, timing, some of that. He might have a better chance to just make some plays. Like, he has the arm, and they have a Cortland Sutton. Like, he probably has a better chance to make some plays, quote unquote, than efficiently go 7 of 8 on a drive.
Well, that's fair, right? So so you think he'll take a shot here and there?
Maybe,
a 50-50 ball to Sutton. Sutton's a big guy.
He is a big guy, and they might need
truth
it.
To that.
Yeah, and it's interesting. This is all speculation. It's all talk. That's
Franklin's
the beauty
okay
of it.
Overall. Their tight ends are not as good as the tight ends they went against last weekend, but of course, Patriots got lucky once again because Dalton Schultz got hurt in the game after he hurt you for a 42-yarder. Mims is fast, slight of frame.
Yep.
They've got a little bit of everything, but nothing too. That's the funny thing. They went 14-3. There's not an element or aspect of this offense that is explosive.
Well, and that's one of the arguments I got in all the people telling me I was an idiot for saying the Broncos aren't really the number one seed anymore because they were the number one seed. I thought Bo Nix wasn't good, so why does it matter if we lose our quarterback? Everybody told me we weren't where we were because of the quarterback. You kind of were. How many did we, 11 comeback wins? Did the defense come back or does the offense come back? The Giants game? Who came back in that Giants game? I believe it was Bo Nix.
Well, yes, and then, if you think about it, though, sometimes the quarterback is the one that puts him in the hole.
Absolutely.
And then he digs himself out of the hole.
Right.
So
yes.
Drake May's done that a couple times.
Right. It's like the me bounds in basketball. I miss it, and then I collect it. Woohoo! Rebound.
Perfect example is the Bengals game. He throws the pick six. Marcus Jones gets one, and then he plays better.
That's the first thing you would think, but then that couldn't be deceiving, too.
But
right?
we also heard from Milton Williams make the very obvious statement, like the Broncos preferred Bo. Like there was a competition or whatever you looked at it. Maybe there wasn't a competition because Bo Nix is the draft pick, but they wanted Bo Nix to be their starting quarterback. So they're not as good. Their preferred starting quarterback isn't playing. I think this is really interesting. I think this is a really fun story. Probably more fun for the Patriots than the Broncos right now.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly. And there's an interest level from probably the casual fan, right? If you're a casual fan, you might tune into this game and just like sort of that car crash thing, like what's going to happen to Jarrett Stidham?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm trying to think, his personality. We didn't get the chance to really get to know him that much. It
was mostly his girlfriend on Instagram.
Well, which is kind of, his wife.
Or wife,
Kennedy,
sorry.
Yeah.
Kennedy Stidham.
Which, you wonder, does that say something about him? That he had a chance to basically take over for Tom Brady, and he wasn't.
He was a bit of a beta.
He wasn't tuned in to exactly what he needed to do. Right. He wasn't the alpha that Bill wanted. But then I say, well, Bill probably didn't tell him what he wanted. So, but at the same time, maybe he should have known. So he's not that natural guy. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to figure out what you're going to get from Jarrett.
I don't want a beta coming into the huddle in the AFC Championship. If I'm Cortland Sutton,
what can I do?
I've heard Fourier say this. There's quarterbacks that say plays with a question mark on the end.
Yep.
I don't want my quarterback. I want an exclamation point.
But
do you guys like this play? Get out of the huddle.
How many backup quarterbacks are alphas, though? I mean, Brady was, and you saw what happened.
And he wasn't a backup for long.
So it's most of them. The ones that, the coaches want on their teams are probably betas.
Right.
So
and that's probably like a Brissett or
was the biggest
Dobbs.
What happened in college with Stidham? Why? Like it worked and then it didn't. Was he not a fit in the Malzahn offense?
I didn't do a deep enough dive all to go that.
It was
deep
at Auburn,
there.
correct?
Yes, it was at Auburn.
Yeah.
2 years at Auburn from Baylor.
I don't think he was. I don't think. He wasn't a great fit at first in the Malzahn offense, if I'm not mistaken, in the Gus Malzahn.
And he hasn't exactly had the greatest coaching career.
No.
There's been some ups and downs for his personal career.